Okay, there comes a moment on the path when you realize that nobody is coming to save you. And in that moment, something sacred happens. You stop waiting and you start creating. But let's be honest, victimhood, it's kind of nice to stay in the story. You know what I mean? Like, it's seductive. Like, they did that. I never got this. You know, the only things were different. Victimhood seduces us with comfort, but it also steals our power. This is what this talk is about today. Welcome to Walking the Path. My name is John Jacob Mubarak, and I want to talk to you about the death of victimhood. This is one of the most powerful teachings. If we take radical self-responsibility, that I'm responsible for everything in my life, everything. And I'm at the very least responsible for how I respond to what's happening in life. So what is victim consciousness? It's not just about trauma. I mean, you may have been victimized. What happened might not have been right or fair or just, but our identity is not victim. Our identity is not, trauma survivor forever. Our identity is victor. So who's victor? I don't know. I've always wanted to be a victor. No, we're victorious. That's our identity. So the pattern is of identity, and it's rooted in power, powerlessness, really. It sounds like they hurt me and I can't trust. It sounds like because this happened, I'll never be the same. If they would change, I could be free. It's a closed loop, and it feels familiar, and it even feels righteous, but it keeps us tethered in the past. That something happened that was out of my control, and I don't have any control over it. It's at the very broad level. It's God, the universe. Do you ever catch yourself saying, "Oh, what's the universe trying to tell me? Maybe the universe is trying to tell me I shouldn't do this." There's no should. The universe isn't telling you shit. Honestly, the universe isn't saying shit. The universe is just a feedback loop. So if you're getting shit in, if you're getting shit back, you're putting shit in. Reverend Michael says, it's a return to sender universe. So, hoping, beseeching, praying. Now, I'm not talking about an affirmative treatment. I'm talking about praying like something outside of me is going to save me. That is victimhood. And it also shows up in our life in like we can be victims to circumstance and condition, right? It's a subtler form of victimhood. It's circumstantial blame. How many times have you and I caught myself in saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry, traffic was awful today. I'm late because I didn't meditate today because I got busy, or I didn't follow through on that because it's been so this and this happened." And all of that's true. Traffic could have been awful. You could have got busy. But do you have choice or not? Do I have choice or not? I didn't choose. I didn't choose to make the time. I didn't choose to prepare. I'm not late because of the traffic. I'm late because of what I did an hour before or 2 hours before. That's why I'm late. I'm responsible for everything. I'm responsible for everything in my life. And so, these sound innocent, right? But they're bricks in the wall between you and liberation. Radical self-responsibility says, I created that delay. I chose not to meditate. I prioritized something else. That's honesty. This isn't blame. It's sovereignty. It's sovereignty. We must be sovereign. What is a sovereign? A sovereign is a king or a queen. We must be the kings and queens of our domain. And when a king or queen speaks, that's it. That's it. They don't wait for somebody to help them. They don't ask for permission. They speak, and it gets done because they're the king or the queen. You and me, we're the kings and queens. Some of us are both kings and queens. Just saying. Anyway, so the turning point is radical ownership, right? When we can, oh my God, I'm looking over here. Ethan, brother, thank you. And then somebody says, you rock. And then the other guy over here says, you suck. Thanks, Jeremiah. Love you, brother. So radical ownership. We don't erase what happens. We reclaim our authorship from it, right? I'm the author. I'm reclaiming. I'm rewriting this story. No matter what happened, I'm rewriting it. Ask, what am I making this mean about me? Victimhood says this broke me or I couldn't control it. But a victorhood says this built me. Forgiveness is the energetic divorce from old roles. We must give up shame and blame and judgment and opinion if we want to move out of victim consciousness, because victim consciousness is keeping us locked in, entangled in a relationship with a person, a situation or circumstance, a thing, a place, a memory. It's keeping us locked in, entangled, like quantum entanglement. And when you're entangled with something on a quantum level, it says that whatever's happening to that thing is happening to you, and whatever's happening to you is happening to that thing. You are entangled. And when we're in victimhood, I'm entangled with that person. And as much as I want to forget about it, I don't want to think about it, but I keep coming up, it's because I haven't cut the energetic cord. And so I must release judgment and blame. I have to give up blame and shame if I'm going to move out of victimhood. And forgiveness is the key. And all forgiveness is self-forgiveness. All forgiveness is self-forgiveness. I got to forgive myself for not seeing that. I got to forgive myself for letting that happen. I got to forgive myself for not knowing how great I was. I got to forgive myself for not believing in myself, for letting someone else take my power away. I got to forgive myself for giving my power away to a situation, a circumstance, a person, a memory, a place. That's forgiveness. And when we are responsible, when we take on radical responsibility, Viktor Frankl said, the only power that we have is our ability to respond. Our ability to respond to external stimuli and circumstance and condition. That's the only power we have. And our ability to respond is our responsibility. Our ability to respond is our responsibility. I love Stellar Flicks Picks said, forgiveness is self-love. Right on. Absolutely. Forgiveness is self-love because all forgiveness is self-forgiveness. So as we take responsibility, our ability to respond being our responsibility, then a shift begins. This is where a shift begins. Embodying victorhood, not victimhood, victorhood consciousness. It's not about being stronger or being over it. It's about being present. It's about being clear and in charge of my energy. So here are some practices that will help us embody victorhood consciousness, right? Notice, where am I leaking power to circumstances or people? Just notice all the ways that I give my power up. I couldn't do that because, I just got so busy. I haven't been able. I'm so sorry. I do it all the time. I'm so sorry for not responding to this email or text. I've been so busy. And then I want to go through and tell them, no, really, I've been so busy. This happened, this happened. If you could only see my schedule, you'd know how busy I was. That I'm sorry I didn't respond. Period. No story. Notice where you give your power away. Where are you leaking your power to a circumstance or condition and not being responsible? So we get to rewrite the story from a place of power. This wasn't the end. This was the beginning. This didn't break me down. This built me up. Everything's happening for me. Everything. It's the consciousness that we bring. Quantum selection talks about our ability to choose, to select, to create a possibility and bring it into form. But it's not just about my choosing, it's about the consciousness from which I choose. So am I looking at life like things are happening to me, where the universe is against me, these people, I can't catch a break, what the fuck? I mean, that's a big one. Sometimes shit happens, one thing after another. It's like, I can't fucking catch a break today. Return to sender universe, as Reverend Michael says, return to sender. It's a reflective universe. It's a mirror universe. Yeah, Karina, excuses, exactly. And it's okay. It's seductive. It's seductive. But when we start to take that responsibility, we start to rewrite our story from a place of power and knowing that I'm not my wound. I'm the wisdom that's born from it. I'm not the circumstance or condition. I'm the consciousness that rises over it. We get to actually select. We're not in the matrix, baby. Just choose to be out of the matrix. I love this saying from Wayne Dyer, happy people live in a happy world. Hostile people live in a hostile world. Same world. It's the consciousness with which we are seeing the world that creates our experience of it. So am I my wound, or am I the wisdom that's born from it? I'm choosing the wisdom, because I must have created that circumstance or condition or person. If somebody did something to me, my question is, why did I create them? Why did I create that person in my life? Because they piss me off and annoy me all over the place. So why did I create them? There must be some wisdom there for me, in that person. So let's do this. Let's have a little closing ritual. Let's have a little funeral for the victim. Are you ready? Let's have a funeral for the victim. Oh my God, let me get a tissue. Victim, hold on. You've been so good to me, victim. You've been so good. You've made it everybody else's fault and relieved me of all responsibility. This has been great. It's been really great, but I'm no longer playing that game. I'm moving out of victimhood into victorhood. And so let's just take a moment and visualize, pick one old victim identity, one old story that you have. Like, see it as like a tattered robe that you've been wearing for a long time. That thing needs to be, thrown away. So look at that tattered robe, that victim consciousness story that you've carried, and thank it. It protected you. It protected you. It protected me. It protected me from being responsible. It protected me from having to deal with stuff. It was cozy and comfortable for a while. So thank you. But now I'm going to take this robe off. Lay it down. It smells too, So I'm going to bury that shit. Let's bury that old victim robe, right? Lay it down, say goodbye with reverence. It helped us. It protected us. And now we get to make a final declaration. The victim has died and the sovereign self rises. This is what I want for me. It's what I want for you. The rising of the sovereign self, sovereignty. This is the juice. This is the juicy part of life, is being sovereign, the creator of our life experience. So I'm so grateful and so thankful to be able to share this with you today. I think this is our talk, the Death of Victimhood. And I'm so grateful to have this time with you. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you next week for Walking the Path. And we'll continue our series on the sovereign self. This was the second talk. So if you want to go back, you can go back and look at the first talk on the sovereign self. All right. Peace and blessings. Thank you so much.